was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man!
Great to know that people come on when you throw on the watch party.
All right, we are here. We are back.
Yes, it is awesome. We welcome back Alex from his lovely journey of delivering packages.
Fucking A, man. It's been intense, I'll tell you that.
Well, I know it was pretty bad today with the weather and shit. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, guy in Oklahoma, they spend a lot of money on like plows and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't use them. I saw several guys driving them today, but they weren't plowing anything.
Were they at least spreading salt?
No.
No?
No, dude, I was driving on like 6 inches of ice.
That's fucking gay.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, man. Like, I don't know how to describe. That's the only way I know how to describe it. Is like, you just see, like, it was so bad that like the cops were closing down streets and stuff, and it's like, what are you gonna do? I mean, what can they do? That the streets are just packed full of ice and snow, at least 6 inches of it. So, like, people are slipping inside their cars, like abandoned all over the place. Like, this is dumb.
And the funny thing is, we have 50-degree weather here.
Yeah. Well, dude, the worst part about it was like the highways. It's like that state does not give two fucks about their highways at all.
Well, most of the time, people stay home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the main highways, like Highway 56 or 54 was okay, but then if you go up to like 136 or something like that, then it's just like ice. That's it. And it's like they've only plowed like enough for one vehicle to go through. It's ridiculous. And like, this is a government highway.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, this isn't a county road or anything.
If there was any actual, like, freaking real deal state of emergency, people would be dying on the sides of the roads.
Oh, yeah. There's semis just, like, in ditches and stuff all over the place.
By the way, a shout out to 7-Eleven for their stuffed waffles.
Stuffed waffles.
It is fucking great. It's got sausage, egg, and cheese inside of a waffle.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very addictive.
All right.
I cannot tell you how many places I've looked for this stuffed waffle.
Just 7-Eleven, huh?
Just 7-Eleven. It's the best. 35 seconds in a microwave. They put it in a box, which you're supposed to actually use to hold the waffle. But it's a finger food, actually.
So it's like a Hot Pocket, kind of?
Kind of like a Hot Pocket, but in a waffle. I got to tell you,
right.
It's that's a pretty good fucking sausage for a 7-Eleven, you know.
Fucking A.
Got a little bit of kick to it. Need a little bit of kick to start to get back into the groove. We took off for Christmas last week.
Yeah.
On Friday and Tuesday, so back on the game.
Absolutely, man. Pretty exciting weekend as far as football goes. The Chiefs went down to the Seahawks.
2 weeks in a row they lost.
2 weeks in a row they've lost. I'm hoping we make it 3.
Well, if it does happen that way. Now, there are tons of playoff complications throughout this weekend's schedule. Sunday night's game is a win-or-go-home game between the Titans and the Colts. That's right off the bat.
Yeah.
So that'll be one we definitely key on. If the Chiefs do lose and the Pats win, they will have overcome the Chiefs for the number one playoff seed. Well, actually, the Pats would get the number one seed if both KC and the Chargers lose.
Yeah.
Which would be a lot of fun to watch. And then there are 3 teams playing for one spot in the NFC, so that should be even more amusing.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, it's down to the wire now. I mean, here we are. This is the last week. This is everything that they've worked up for. This is the season finale of the NFL, not of Archrivals as of yet. But, because there's still more football to talk about. But it is definitely, it doesn't really matter. But, Oakland took down Denver, which was the last Raiders game in Oakland.
That's what they're saying. It's
allegedly
not in stone yet that's going to be there. Although there was a story earlier this week, and as soon as I heard it, I automatically just cursed out loud for you that there was a rumor. Now, again, it's a rumor that the Raiders were going to play their home games for 2019 in London.
Yeah. Right.
I could only imagine you getting up at like 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday to watch a Raiders home game.
I tell you what, I fucking won't. That's stupid. That's dumb. I've heard that being kicked around, but like, there's so many rumors. The closest ones I've heard that I've actually, have good authority that these might have the possibilities are UNLV, which I don't think is going to happen. Playing at Giant Stadium, and then playing at sharing the field with ASU,
which probably wouldn't be bad.
No,
but
in Phoenix,
at least those are places that are set up for it. And some of the other names were Santa Clara, which means sharing the stadium with the 49ers. I believe they were saying something that the possibility that the Chargers were still going to have, there was going to be almost like a 3-headed dragon with the Rams, the Chargers, and the Raiders playing all in the same spot.
There's no way that can happen.
That would be mass confusion in itself. I mean, there were quite a few places, but Vegas, there's not really very many venues in Vegas where it's suited for NFL football yet.
That's the talk of like UNLV, like it's just way too small. ASU or even sharing the field with the Cardinals for one season doesn't sound too far-fetched. And that's what I've heard a lot of people are talking about, that like that's probably where they're going to go, or they're going to go to I heard Giant Stadium's a pretty strong one too. So great, we get one more season. We get to play on a baseball field. So
it's not really that. It's not really that bad if you think about it. Except the pitcher's mound in San Fran wouldn't affect the kickers as much.
Yeah,
which is actually great.
Yeah.
So they have that. Now there's a whole bunch of other listings of possible players not playing for this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Gurley's not playing. He is out on Sunday for the 49er game. Mariota is questionable to play in that win-or-go-home game. Antonio Brown is questionable for the Steelers, and the Steelers have to rely on the Cleveland Browns to get into the playoffs.
So Cleveland can win. Cleveland wins. They can
Pittsburgh
go
out of the playoffs,
and they can go.
They are still mathematically available for the playoffs, which is scary.
I think that's amazing, man. I don't in any way, shape, or form think that team would win the Super Bowl this year. But the Browns in the playoffs, how many times have you said that in this this century?
A only in the 80s when they had Bernie Kosar at quarterback.
Yeah. And
for
that
me
was,
to
that was in the 20th century. That's not even the 21st.
And
That's
for
the
me
thing.
to even mention Bernie Kosar in any sentence whatsoever is just nuts. Because we always made fun of his hairdo.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's one of those things. Another thing that I just heard on the radio tonight is Odell Beckham Jr. is not playing this game this weekend against the Cowboys. Apparently, him getting kicked in the thigh is preventing him from playing football. I honestly still think it's an extremely bad haircut that they keep talking about. And if this was the old days, where guys played with broken arms and broken feet, broken toes, I mean, fuck, JPP only plays with 3 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that the tutu-wearing Nancy boy Beckham Jr. should fucking suit up, put his fucking man pants on, and go play.
I agree. I mean, you got kicked in the thigh. Did it tear anything?
Apparently, there's supposed to be some type of bruise. Now, from
He's
my
got a bruise?
He's got a bruised quad. Now, from my understanding, from playing football myself, and getting hit quite a few hundred times in my legs, I've had bruised quads, and I still suited up every Saturday to go play.
Yeah.
So maybe the sciences of fixing a bruise have not been done yet. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not a professional athlete, but when we had a bruise, we just played. Like it's a bruise. It's not a torn muscle. It's not a bone. So
I mean, they're not really playing for anything. I mean, if they lose and the things go right, I mean, they could have the 2nd overall pick in the NFL draft. But that's besides the point, you know.
Well, I mean, with Odell Beckham Jr., so what do? Do you sit him down? Might as well sit him down if he's got a bruise. Let him take the rest of the year off. Him playing is not going to fix anything. They're not going anywhere, so.
And to finish off the news for this week, Quincy Enunwa, a player that nobody was able to really actually pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Signed a 4-year extension for $36 million with the New York Jets, and $20 million of that 36 is guaranteed money.
Nice.
So he's only getting basically paid $4 million a year to stay with the Jets.
Hell yeah.
Funny. It's just funny that a team like the Jets, who need so much more than
one guy
re-signing one receiver, and have $99 million to play with. Yeah, they only dropped 4 of that, so the off season for that should be
pretty interesting,
fucking amazing.
Yeah. Agreed. I think that should be interesting. In other news, Marshawn Lynch lit a blunt with the Al Davis torch.
Yeah.
I thought about he can't get in trouble. They're in California. It's legal.
He still can get in trouble from the NFL.
How though? He's on IR, and he's in a state where it's legal. He wasn't technically doing anything illegal other than public intoxication, but he didn't smoke it. He just lit it.
Well, I guess if they drug test him and it's not in his system, I guess he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they had this same problem with Ricky Williams a bunch of years back.
Agreed.
So,
they've had that problem with who's the guy that just left? Who's on? I think he played for the Raiders. He just got in trouble for failing a substance or failing a piss test.
Oh, Martavis Bryant.
Yeah.
Kind of amusing on that part too, because he was suspended earlier this year, and then they said, "Ha, I think we're going to just do this again." Fucking
yeah.
Dipwads.
I don't understand. Like, you know, if they're in a state where weed's legal, then fuck off. They're not doing anything wrong. It's not performance enhancing. They're definitely not high when they go play. So what's the problem?
That's a very good question.
Whatever. Anyways, let's what do we got? We got to get right into it here.
Yeah, let's just jump right into these games because it is a full slate Sunday.
Yeah, everybody's playing.
In which you got to experience it the last time with the the full, like, seeing every monitor with games on it when I screen shared it the last time. It will be like that this Sunday. Because once the playoff comes, it's just watching one game and done, and that's pretty much it. So, that's how that usually works.
All right, so we've got the Dolphins versus the Bills. Now, the Dolphins still have a chance here.
They are on the outside looking in. They do control somewhat of a destiny.
Yeah.
But the only way that actually truly happens is if that Colts-Titans game ends in a tie.
So they're out.
Or both teams technically get blown up in the stadium at the same time. Then the Dolphins would replace them.
No, don't suggest things like that because there are people in Florida and the Dolphins are from Florida and Floridians are crazy.
Yes, but however, the game is in Dildoville in Buffalo.
I hear they have good wings.
Yes, they do. Watching both of these teams throughout this season, and again, it's the season finale, they're not really playing for very much. Although, again, if Buffalo does lose, they probably will get a better draft position.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that the Buffalo Bills will tank, but Buffalo's defense has been on top all year long. Miami has not played well on the road. They don't score very many points. Which, in order to win football games, even if you score only 6 points, you need to score points to win games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's usually, I've always found that the team that scores the most points wins, Rick.
So this game here has Buffalo -4 and the under-over at 38.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. Their offense has not been very great the entire season. I'm also betting on that second-ranked overall defense that Buffalo is running around with. And there's still a lot of question marks with Ryan Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
If he somehow gets bumped off, then pretty much you're going to have, Brock Osweiler again.
Yeah.
I to honestly tell you, I just think Buffalo's probably the safest bet.
I think I'm going to go with Buffalo as well. I mean, their defense has really started to do some amazing things. I just wish it was a little bit sooner.
Well, Josh Allen's actually been playing pretty well. And I think, I know Buffalo does have quite a few injuries, but they should have enough to sustain a viable offense against the Dolphins.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, we've got your favorite player is playing for the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This is probably a game. I'm constructing that puke bucket for the weekend.
Yeah.
For the viable throwing up of having to probably watch the walking turd burglar Jameis Winston, or whatever, go against Matt Ryan. To honestly tell you, both teams have been in the shitter the whole year.
They really have.
They're saying that this is going to be a very high-scoring game at 50 for the under-over, and Atlanta on the road laying 1 point to the Buccaneers. You have any?
I don't know. See, Buccaneers haven't been doing bad lately. I mean, it's like all of a sudden they started playing football, and it's like, oh, well, it's the end of the season. Why do you guys start now? But
I don't know. I last week got to see Jameis Winston get taunted with his eating a W thing.
Yeah.
The guy was like, right in his face, and I don't think he liked it too much.
Yeah.
But then again, if I sucked as bad as he does, then I probably would be doing the same thing to him all the time. I'm gonna say Matt Ryan's gonna finish the season out very well. I mean, Tampa's defense has not been that bad, but for them to lay out the line of 50 with both defenses in the mid to lower 20s, I'm gonna say that in all probability that I'm gonna end up going with the Atlanta Falcons.
I think I'm going to go with them as well. Let's see. I don't know, because every time I bet against the Bucks, they always win. So I think I'm going to go with Tampa Bay, and maybe Atlanta will win.
Okay.
I think we're going to do that.
All right. What do we got up next?
Oh God, why even? Who cares about this game? Cowboys Giants.
Oh, Cowgirls versus Blueberries.
Yep.
Joy. Well, obviously, as we just stated, that there's not going to be any OBJ for this weekend.
Yeah.
Eli's probably going to be playing for his job at this point.
Yeah.
Cowboys really will not be playing this game with all of their starters. They are locked.
So
they are locked into the 4th seed, regardless whether they win or lose.
So,
because they have the worst record out of all of the division winners, which is kind of weird to say that you're going to finish out a division at, either 10-6 or 9-7,
and then still be clinch a 4th seed.
Yeah. This game here actually has the Giants spotting the Cowboys points at 7 and the under-over at 43.
Man.
Well, now.
Wow. Well, that's a horse of a different color. Oh, fuck me for making Wizard of Oz joke. It's one of my biggest pet peeves is being from Kansas, and people are like, "Oh, we're not in Kansas anymore." I'm like, yeah, time to go fucking drown yourself. But yeah. Oh man.
See, again, you look at it from both sides. Dallas has nothing to play for. The Giants, again, could possibly get a better pick if they tank. Now, I know it's kind of hard to tank in the NFL. Then again, if you watch the movie The Longest Yard, which I've done twice in the last 2 days, the old version and the newest version, you can shave points, although I don't think Eli is going to be really trying to shave any points.
No.
This game here pretty much could possibly put Saquon Barkley at Rookie of the Year. I really honestly couldn't tell you. This one here is I mean, it's 7 points. Don't get me wrong, but Jesus, just.
I'm going to go ahead and go with the Giants. I'm going to go with the Giants because I don't think that the Cowboys are going to be bringing all the heat because they're already in it. They don't give a shit. This means nothing to them. So I'm going to say and Eli Manning's playing for his job. I'm going to go ahead and say the Giants take this one.
At this point here, I think I'm just going to turn around and say that Eli's going to try too hard.
That could be true.
Dallas's defense is still fairly viable. I mean, they probably will sign Tony Homo for a game and throw him out there as the starting quarterback. I mean,
are they talking about doing that?
No, although he does want to come back and play football. I think he's had his 2 years off and he's got the itch, like Brett Favre does all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I still, in a way, just don't see the Cowboys just letting up for that 1 week, knowing the fact that they're playing the weekend after. They're obviously going to want to work on things and maybe perfect something here or there, maybe a gadget play or two.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Giants are a good team to do that with.
And the other thing is I mean, the games, the last 3, really, they haven't really meant very much because the Giants have just been crappy. But 2 out of the last 3, it's been 16 points and better, and their last meeting earlier this year was like week 2, and they only lost by 7.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to go with the Cowgirls, but I really don't see the Giants picking up very well on that.
I'm gonna stick with them. I'm gonna stick with the Giants on this one.
All right. We have now the end of the kind of back-to-back series with the Panthers and the Saints. Now,
Yeah.
the Saints have announced that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be starting for them on Sunday. They have absolutely nothing to play for. They have 0. They have gotten the number 1 seed. They're going to roll into the playoffs at 13-3 probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything very much out of Cam Newton as of late. They've been saying that he's had some shoulder issues. That was the one that he got surgically repaired last year. Drew Brees is not playing. Cam Newton is not playing.
Why isn't he playing?
They're apparently going to sit him because this game means doo-doo to them.
Yeah.
This is the news out of Vegas that he is not playing. So pretty much, this game just may be a battle of the backups, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints have won the last 3 meetings, including the debacle that they had in Carolina 2 weeks ago on Thursday Night Football.
Winning by 3.
Well, it wouldn't have been 3 if Drew Brees didn't throw an interception on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
It would have been 14-9. So, this game here is probably really should have been just like a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Vegas has this game at -9 to Carolina and 45 under over. That's a little strange if you don't have Drew Brees playing.
Yeah.
And you know you're not playing very many of your starters past the first half.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to pick New Orleans. I mean, even though Breeze isn't playing, who's their backup?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay, Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well, too. To honestly tell you, I couldn't even tell you who the backup quarterback is for Carolina.
I couldn't tell you that either.
That's how much I've really studied the Carolina Panthers as of late.
Yeah, well, at least Cam Newton shaved that shit off of his chin. That was stupid.
And he doesn't look like fucking Jim Carrey from The Mask either.
Well,
He stopped doing that for a while.
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy with that.
All right, so now, I mean, so the Patriots are going to win.
Let's actually not go so fast on this one. Okay? Now, again, I mentioned earlier that there were chances of the Jets getting the number 1 seed overall in the NFL draft. Stealing that one away from the Raiders, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah, the Raiders kind of screwed that up with Broncos last week.
Yeah. So at this point here, the Patriots will probably be going 100%.
Yeah.
They do have that number 1 seed on the line. That's for
They
one.
do.
The division's already locked up. Even if they win this game and the other 2 teams win, they're still locked into the 2. Guaranteeingly enough, this will not be a game faint of heart. Last year when this game happened, I was actually at work listening to it on the radio. And there were not very many happy people at work last year while I was there. I really do think this may be Todd Bowles' last game as a New York Jet coach. Very possible.
I agree. And that's Rob Eamon in the group. He says this is likely Todd Bowles' swan song. He sees him landing in Arizona.
Well, if he's going to go back as a defensive coordinator, I see him going back.
Yeah.
I don't see him very much as a head coach anywhere else. A lot of coordinators, as soon as they have pretty much tanked it for 5 years, yeah, I really don't see them getting very many head coaching gigs. So, as much as the Jets want to say that they're not going to be firing him on Monday, they are just maybe
They're
they
going to
said,
be firing him on Monday.
We're just gonna we're gonna play it out to where, you know, we're gonna say that you're not gonna get fired, but it'll be a very big surprise that you will be fired Monday morning.
Yeah.
At least they're not gonna fire him right after the game
or halfway through the game. You never know.
Well, we've had players retire halfway through games, so yeah.
Or they'll fire him right after the game, like they did the Packers coach.
Yeah, well. So Vegas has put up this lovely line of the Jets getting 15 and the under over 48. Now, I called this the last time I went to the actual game that they weren't going to cover. And that point spread was huge till legitimately like an hour before game time. New England still has a lot to work out. I mean, their run game was great, but the Jets' defense has been pretty decent as of late against the run. They did just come off of a shootout with Aaron Rodgers. Vegas money, if you're actually legitimately gonna bet the game, Jet fans take the 15 points.
Yeah.
Because the Jets are going to play fairly decent this weekend. They pretty much have a lot of players going to be playing for jobs, knowing the fact that there's $94 million in the bank for them to spend on newer players. And Rob, I can't kind of disagree with that a little bit. McCarthy is a good coach. He's gonna have a young quarterback to bring up, but I don't think that's going to be his major stop. The name that I have heard the most is Mr. Harbaugh from Michigan.
He's leaving Michigan?
If the Jets roll out the money, Harbaugh will come.
Didn't he just leave the 49ers like 2 years ago?
It was like 4 years ago, and he was trying to remember the school he was in before Michigan, but Michigan gave him money.
He was rumored he was at the 49ers, and I heard he was leaving. He was rumored to be coming to Kansas to coach them, and then he chose Michigan instead.
And he hasn't done bad in Michigan.
No.
But he didn't do bad in the NFL either. That was a very big key. The college game is a little different. So, but in this game here, I'm obviously going to go with my boys. I'm going to go with the Pats.
I'm going to go with the Pats, too.
Covering the 15, though, I don't see it.
Mm-mm.
That I don't see. So, again, if you got the money, put some money on the fucking Jets with the plus 15.
Yeah, I would, too.
Guaranteedly is probably the best bet out of this entire weekend.
All right, here we go.
Another semi-meaningful game.
Yeah.
Jacksonville bringing their castrated asses down to Houston, to the Texans. Key news out of Houston was that the receiver that they just traded for, Demaryius Thomas, out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL. So, luckily
ain't that
enough,
about a bitch.
So the Patriots didn't trade for him. He goes to the Houston Texans, blows out his ACL, done.
In practice, right?
Yes, in practice, another non-contact injury. Go figure. This game here actually does mean something for the Texans based on the fact of the result of the Jets-Pats game.
Mm-hmm.
If somehow, miraculously, the Jets don't tank and win the game Sunday, and the Texans win, they will then go ahead back in front of the Patriots for the number 2 seed in the playoffs.
In the AFC.
In the AFC. Otherwise, they can go no lower than 3 at this point.
Yeah.
Because they have a better record than both the Steelers, and the Ravens. So either way, they could be either a 2 seed or a 3 seed. This game will pretty much determine a lot for, again, the rest of the seeding.
Well, but if they win and the Patriots win,
well, if the Patriots win, they have the win from the first week of the season.
Yeah.
So they'll be kind of covered on that whole thing. Jacksonville and Houston. Houston spotting 10.
Yeah.
And in under over a 41. Game in Houston.
That's not a bad spread. 10 points.
I probably would say, again, if you're a betting person, yes, you lost Demaryius Thomas. It's all fine and good. But you still have Lamar Miller. You still have DeAndre Hopkins. And you still have Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Plus that destructive freaking defensive line.
Exactly.
In Houston. No credibility to Jacksonville at all. I'm going with the Houston Texans.
Rob Iman saying that this is going to be Blake Bortles' final game in Jacksonville. What do you think about that, Rick?
Blake Bortles isn't even starting. Cody Kessler has started for the last.
Cody Kessler.
Believe it or not, I actually got him in the packs of cards that I opened earlier today. If anybody wants to know what they were, they're on the Pain Train Pipe Bomb page. But I actually opened Cody Kessler's rookie card out of these packs today.
Oh shit!
And he was originally drafted by the Cleveland Browns last year.
Oh well, look what they did.
Go figure that one out.
Yeah.
Bortles has pretty much played his way out of fucking Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I either see them going after a Joe Flacco, who's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. But,
yeah, people are trying to say that the Raiders should pick him up, and I don't think so.
But Bortles, I think, has just played his way out of Jacksonville. He's not the quarterback that they figured he'd be. And last year he had a phenomenal season. And I guess the loss in the AFC Championship game kind of messed him up or whatever. But I don't see Bortles there very much longer. And if Kessler's starting, then I'm going with Cody Kessler. I just can't. I can't say anything else different. I really can't.
So you're going Jacksonville.
I am going freaking Houston.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to go with Houston.
I'm going Texans.
Yeah, I'm going Texans too. I think they're going to do it. They've been having a rough couple games, but they pulled it out last week.
They started off bad that way too, and they've legitimately come back. So because we also had the news that the Oregon quarterback wasn't coming out of the draft either. So
yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
You know what? I believe that's the smart deal because he was not getting the greatest rap.
No.
On a lot of fronts. So we then go to Cheesehead Land.
Shit show versus the shit show.
Funny thing to mention, Aaron Rodgers is starting.
Really?
Yeah. Nothing to play for. You're 2 games or 2.5 games under 500. This may actually also be the swan song for Matthew Stafford. I've heard the rumblings. I've heard the rumblings.
See, I thought he did great this year.
Well,
as far as Detroit goes,
last year was the first year without Megatron, and he did fairly well. But he also had weapons. This year he had weapons and stats were not great.
No, yeah, they weren't.
I think this is the first year in many that he has not thrown for at least 4,000 yards. And he's getting paid a ton of cash.
Yeah, they'll probably dump him.
So he is going to be another one that's going to be out on the market. And this is also probably going to be the big game interview for the interim coach in Green Bay to see whether he's going to stay, because that's going to be another coaching position a lot of teams are going to be looking to, well, a lot of coaches are going to try to get. And yes, Rob, I think Cooter is getting fired after this game. So the offensive coordinator for Detroit.
Yeah, well, you know, speaking of Cooter, all right, so apparently Cooter is a vulgar word, a vulgar name in Red Dead Redemption. Completely off the subject, but you can make your own online player's name, and I wanted him to be Cooter Abernathy, and they said they couldn't use foul language in their mature rated game. You can bang hookers in that game, but you can't call yourself Cooter Abernathy.
That's just lovely, you know.
Yeah, and I thought Cooter was like, I thought it was a good name. There's people named Cooter.
I don't know. That's just that's a little out there.
Doesn't make any sense, right? All right. Anyways,
so Green Bay is spotting the Lions 9 and an under over of 45. Obviously, the game's in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Sometimes these are the games that just want to be stabbed in the eye. I don't know. I'm going to lean toward the prima donna in Green Bay. Figuring the game is in Green Bay. I mean, they have not played well all year long, but
no.
Apparently Rodgers has decided that he's going to finally start playing some decent ball toward the end of the season.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Green Bay as well. I love the Lions, but hey, I'm betting against the Lions, so they're probably going to win.
Yeah, that usually happens with us.
Especially with me. Every time I bet against the Lions, they fucking win. So I hope they do.
So now we've actually hit the 4:00 games. And there's a lot of them for the final weekend of the season.
Oh, shit. People are going to be busy motherfuckers tomorrow.
Like I said, there's 5 screens in my room, 5 different games on all the screens. I think I might just order Buffalo Wild Wings and just eat it here and then just repeatedly have my head spin around. Philly's traveling down to the nation's capital to play the Washington Redskins. The Redskins have been officially eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Johnson is still at quarterback. Although I pretty much don't want to put it on him, but he may be the third broken leg to finish out the year in Washington, because apparently quarterbacks go to Washington to get their legs broken.
Yeah.
Just saying.
If you want to break a leg,
had that happen.
Joe Theismann had it happen. We have Alex Smith had it, and then Colt McCoy. I mean, Jesus Christ.
And surprisingly enough, the 2 games that Mark Sanchez played didn't break a leg. Go figure.
Yeah.
So this game here, Philly actually has a shot still to make
at the
playoffs.
wild card, right?
Yes, the 6th spot. This game here is going to mean a lot for Philly. Apparently, Wentz is still obviously out with a fractured back. I don't even know why Vegas is listing that Alex Smith is out. He only broke his leg like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And broken legs do not heal that quickly.
No.
So why they even said that, I have no idea. How you doing, Antonio? What's going on?
What's up, Antonio?
This game here is kind of weird. They have Philly laying 8 and the under-over at 43. See, I want to believe in the Foles factor.
Mm-hmm.
But Washington's defense has still been fairly decent this entire year.
They have. I don't know, man. The Eagles have just like popped out like for a long time this season. They were doing real shitty, and then it's like, hey, they've really popped. It just started like, oh hey, yeah. By the way, we won the Super Bowl last year. Maybe we should start playing like it. And they have, really. So I'm going to go with, I think they want to at least get to the playoffs, so they're not like, oh, yeah, that was a fluke, and it's a one-and-done thing. Now wait for the next 80 years. So I think they're going to go. I think they're going to win this game, and they're going to at least go to the playoffs.
So you're going to go Philly?
I'm going Philly.
I'm going to go with the roll of the dice with Philly too. But apparently, the one thing I will say though is that a lot of the Philadelphia players love having Nick Foles behind center, and apparently the defensive linemen, who have nothing to do with the total team offense, play better when Nick Foles is there. I have no idea. It was something that I heard, and then I looked it up, and it was there. But it's apparently the Nick Foles effect.
Well,
what we're calling it.
All right, we'll see. All right, next.
This is going to be a doozy.
It is.
This is going to be the mega doozy, one of the games that I will have a lot of attention on this weekend. Chargers going to Denver. Denver kind of officially eliminated themselves last weekend.
No, it was the weekend before.
Yeah.
When they lost to the Browns.
But now, from what I hear, running back Lindsey from the Broncos is out. He broke his wrist. So that will be
he's a Broncos fan. Guess what he was doing? He
yeah.
plays for the Broncos. He was definitely
But
he was skiing.
Here's the crazy thing about this is that his name was being mentioned in the Rookie of the Year talks.
He's good, man. He's really good.
And he was undrafted. So that makes it even better. Kind of like that feel-good story for the whole thing. I got to tell you, the Chargers are going to be playing all out.
They are.
On Sunday for this game. Because this game is going to really mean a lot to them. Chargers are laying 7, playing in Denver, under over 42.
I'm going to go Chargers. Definitely going Chargers on this one.
All right. I don't
think Denver's been on a downward spiral, but
also remember, about a month ago, Denver did upset them.
They did. They did
in L.A.
They did.
Yeah, Vance Joseph's job has been done since like week 11. They just let him play. They let him play out the string, and John Elway is going to be on the hot seat as well for this. Just saying.
He's the owner. How's he on the hot seat?
He's the GM. He's not the owner.
Oh, he's the GM? Oh, I thought he owned part of the team, too.
Just think of it this way. His last few draft picks, major ones, was Brock Osweiler a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
That garbage freaking rookie quarterback that they drafted the same year that they had Osweiler. And then he signed Case Keenum.
And Chad Kelly.
Yeah, who got arrested and released.
Yep.
So
Elway should be. I think Elway, all right, Denver. I know Elway was your fucking golden god, and you guys have you got the big blue fucking statue of the Bronco at the airport. Elway's got like 90 fucking car dealerships in Denver. He doesn't have what it takes to be the GM of this team, and I don't think he's done anything very... okay, you got Super Bowl 50, and you went to 49. Okay, you got a Super Bowl, but what has he done for you lately? Like, he's done nothing for him.
Well, this is why, and according to Rob, he believes that this is the worst coaching vacancy this offseason. There are a lot of rumored names to... be going, and I can guaranteeingly tell you one of them is going to probably be Tampa. Yeah. Just saying. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Do I have an easy feeling about this game? No.
I don't. It's the AFC West, man. These next two games.
The game is in Denver.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Chargers are in the playoffs either way. They're either going to be the 1 seed or they're going to be the 5 seed. They're still guaranteed a spot.
Yeah.
But, again, they're not exactly 100%.
Well, aren't they the
Melvin
2
Gordon-
seed? Aren't they the 2 with their record?
They are currently right now the 5 seed. The Chiefs have the number 1. The Chargers have the number 5. And the only reason why the Chiefs have it is they have a better divisional record.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
But I figured they would be at least a 3 seed.
Well, they're not the 3 seed only for the fact being that the top 4 seeds are all the division picks. Or the division winners, I should say.
Okay.
So that's how they usually run that shit.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to say
is
Chargers,
crazy,
but it's going to be crazy. But the Broncos could win this game.
All right, so this game here that we're going to talk about now. All right, now I watched this game the other night from start till about like 2 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it just so happens that I went to go pick up the missus when that 2 minutes came out, and I listened to the rest of it on the radio. This game here was either supposed to be at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it depended on whether or not the Chiefs actually won the game. Why? I don't know. Maybe it was not a game of importance. That's why they were putting it on at 1 o'clock, which would have been like 12 o'clock your time.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, though, and my poor brother-in-law has had to hear me bitch about this for like the last 5 weeks. They are on the offensive downward spiral.
We've been saying it the whole, like every time I've been on here, you know, during the break and during my peak season, every time I'd come on. I've been saying it for fucking months. They're on a fucking downward spiral. Look at where they are. It just went down. I mean, it went down pretty quickly. What was it? It started off with the Cardinals, barely beat them by 16. Mm-hmm. Then the Browns beat them by 12. Then you go to the fucking Raiders. Then you go to Oakland. You only beat Oakland by 7. Then you deal with the Baltimore comes into your house, and you barely beat them by 3. Then what the fuck happened? You lose to the
Rams.
To the Rams.
You lose to the Chargers,
mm-hmm.
and you lose to the Seattle Seahawks. And I made it specific to say it, that the last 5 games of the year, 3 of them, the middle 3 games, were going to be all of the games that you were going to have an issue with. And again, not saying it that it could be the possibility, but no Kareem Hunt, and your fucking
and
point
Spencer
scoring
Ware
has
is fucking gone.
Yeah, your top 2 starting running backs are done. I was actually pretty afraid to know that I actually pulled a Kareem Hunt rookie card out of my pack today.
Well, he was still a good player.
He's still a good player, but the absence of Kareem Hunt has been a lot bigger than everybody's expected it to be. And obviously you can see the points per game are starting to lower. Outscoring a team these days is not going to help them anymore.
No, it's not. And I think the reason is that Baltimore Ravens game, Baltimore went into Arrowhead and wrote the blueprint of how to beat the Chiefs offense. That's what happened.
Not very many teams can do that.
They you do this, and this. Granted, Baltimore didn't win that fucking game, but they went in there and they only lost by 3 points. So, that being said, they went in there and they're like, oh, here's their fucking holes in their offense. All right, let's do this, do a little adjust here. And any team that studies that game can find a way to beat the Chiefs. And they've fucking done it. They've done it. What was it? Well, they've lost 3 in a row?
They lost to the Chargers on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
And then they lost to the Seattle Seahawks.
Then who did they beat before that?
3 out of their last 4.
Yeah. 3 out of their last 4 games. Now, it's Raiders week. And I don't give a good goddamn if our record's 4-11. And they're 11-4. This is a textbook chance where the Raiders upset the Chiefs. It's happened. They were 11-0. But I think it was like 2014. They were 11-0. We were 0-11. And we went in there and fucking knocked the shit out of them. You know.
Let me ask you this though: if the Raiders come back, and I'm not saying it because they're obviously the tremendous dogs in this game. Okay, Vegas has them at plus 15.
Okay.
And again, betting man, I'm telling you, you go out, you take the 15 points, and you run as far as you can with them because you're gonna get covered with the 15. Okay. Yeah. Yes, the game is in Kansas City. If Oakland somehow proves to the city and the state of California that they're worth it playing back there again, how much pressure do you think that puts more on the Raiders than anything else?
Well, that's a done deal. That's a done deal, Rick. They're building a stadium in Las Vegas.
No, but I'm saying though that I mean, yeah, they're going to be there in 2022, I believe.
2020,
was the year that I heard. All right, but now you're looking for a fucking place to play next year. If they could somehow pull this game off, they could possibly still be back playing in Oakland next year.
Possibly. That's a big deal between Mark Davis and the city of Oakland. His whole deal with wanting to find another place to play is that they're trying to take the logo and the name and the colors. He's not like, why is he going to pay money? And he's paying. I don't know if you've ever like seen pictures of the Coliseum. It is a fucking shithole.
Well, the Oakland A's play there, so definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fucking shithole. There's raw sewage that comes up on the field. They found like a dead mouse or dead rats in a couple of the fucking soda fountains. Like, it's a fucking shithole. They've done nothing to upkeep that motherfucker for years. It's just the building. It's just a fucking field where they charge people an arm and a leg, and they want to charge the Raiders fucking like millions of dollars, jack the price up because the Raiders are leaving, and then go around and use that price or that money to sue them for their team name and logos. I understand. I mean, people are going to be pissed about this, but I understand Mark Davis is like, hey, dude, fuck off. No, you're going to try to fucking, if you're going to try to, I'm not going to pay for your lawyer so you can sue me. That's basically what he's saying to him. So there is a potential of them, like, you know, this does put some pressure on the city of Oakland if we win this game, but I don't think it's going to make a difference.
To honestly tell you, by the way, Rob, I don't think Reed's going to find himself on a hot seat anytime soon. He's probably been one of the best coaches the Chiefs have had.
Reed has been the best mediocre coach that the Chiefs have ever had.
So in all possibilities, who are you gonna? Are you gonna actually pull off like the upset of the day, or are you gonna go with the Oakland Raiders?
I'm going for Oakland. I got a brand new fucking. I got the Spirit of 34 here.
Okay. I hate to say it. I as much as I would like to, I'm probably going to go with the KC Chiefs.
Oh, I don't blame you for doing it. Like, this is all pride. The Raiders have nothing to fucking lose here.
But I will say though that I did, even though I didn't do picks last week, I actually did pick Kansas City to go into Seattle, and they lost. And I picked them to go win against the Chargers, and they lost. And wasn't mad about it either. So I'm putting the KC whammy on it.
Yeah, I mean, they've beat us the last two games, but we did beat them by 1 point October 19th, 2017. Day after my birthday. Fuck yeah. So... yeah, I think the Raiders might have a chance. They have a chance, so I'm going to go for them because the Chiefs' defense is suspect as fuck. Like Rob Ivan's saying, their defense is terrible. They proved it against the Seahawks and against the Chargers. They're fucking shit. And they're like, oh, wait till Eric Berry comes out. Eric Berry, he's going to change that whole defense.
Yeah, and he played
Still
and it made
fucking
nothing.
waiting for Eric Berry to change that fucking defense.
All right, so we're going to try to pick it up a little bit.
All right.
We got the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
Going into Minnesota. This is the game, one of the games where a team in the NFC is going to get dick punched. And the only reason why I'm saying this is that the Minnesota Vikings need to beat the Chicago Bears in order to stay the number 6 seed in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, that team from Philadelphia, with a win
Pops
earlier
in.
in the day, pops in, and the $84 million man gets to go ice fishing next weekend.
Yeah. Man, I don't know on this game. Cousins hasn't been playing well. And the Bears are on a roll, man. And you guys are welcome. Because 52 has made himself a great asset to that team. I know we talk about him every time we're on I'm on this show or have been on it. We talk about him every fucking week. This guy has changed this defense like he does for every defense. When you hear announcers talk about Khalil Mack and why they're like, John Gruden that was the dumbest thing he's ever done in his life is get rid of Khalil Mack. The dumbest fucking thing you've ever done, because look what's happening.
Well, at this point, this is the case where you could actually say that one man does make a difference.
One man does make a difference, yeah. But, that's the difference between Eric Berry and the Chiefs. Khalil Mack is better than Eric Berry.
Now,
he's more of a leader, and he can rally those guys to play his type of defense.
Here is the big kicker out of Vegas, okay? Vegas has this game at Minnesota -7, giving the Bears 7 points and an under over of 42. Now, yes, the Bears are locked into a playoff seed.
Yes, they are.
That's great. However, if the Bears win and the Rams somehow miraculously lose to the San Francisco 49ers the same time, the Bears will be the number 2 seed in the NFL playoffs in the NFC, and the lowly Rams, who had the amazing run, will drop down to the 3. So there is actually a lot there is a lot at stake for both of these teams Sunday at 4:25 Eastern Standard. Just saying.
There is.
Oh, and by the way,
what's that? You pull out
your Khalil Mack.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck you.
I have one with him and Von Miller too.
That one. That's cool. That picture that Derek keeps posting on Facebook, that says instead of a Mac, it's got 52, and then the name is Thanks Gruden.
Yeah.
You fucking prick.
All right, so I'm going to go with the Bears.
I'm going with the Bears,
are be a little bit better suited.
I'm going with Mac Attack. I'm locking it in. I think my next jersey is going to be a Chicago Mac jersey.
I don't feel bad for fucking Kirk Cousins.
I don't either.
Okay, so we definitely know that the people in Pittsburgh, and we have not talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers yet either, will be having their monitors, their phones, their satellite dishes,
their metal
and whatever,
plates
focused on this next game. The Cleveland Browns. Wait, let me kind of like back that up a second. The 500 percentage. They're even 500, 7-7-1 Cleveland Browns roll into Baltimore to play the 9-6 Ravens. Again, another game with massive playoff implications.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's funny. because this game here for me is a dual-edged sword. I want the Ravens to win the division, but I want the Cleveland Browns to win.
Yeah, see, that's kind of the thing. Like, I wouldn't mind I like the Ravens, but I like Baker Mayfield a lot, man. Like, that guy, he's a Big 12 boy. Like that, I've said it before. I've got his jersey on order. Man. I really I would like the Baltimore Ravens to clinch their division, but man, god damn, it'd be great to see the Cleveland Browns go to the fucking playoffs.
So Vegas has Baltimore favored by 7 with the under over 42. Again, this game here means so much for everybody else. Like, you get to see the frickin' mustard turds in the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much shitting their pants as they're playing their game, and rooting for the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fucking great. I mean,
go ahead.
It's just funny though, because if, again, miraculously Cleveland pulls off this win, the Pittsburgh Steelers will probably be sending Cleveland like all brand new equipment, a bigger stadium. $1 million because Baltimore would have lost.
Hand jobs for everybody.
Yes, and all of the masseuses and everything else. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have to rely on another team because they dropped the ball all year. In actuality, we really do know what the outcome of this is going to be. It's going to be the Ravens. The Ravens playing at home, #1 defense in the NFL. But I got to tell you, though.
But let's look back here. October 7th, 2018. The score was 12-9. Cleveland motherfucking Browns.
Yes.
So,
but the key to this game was this. Baker Mayfield versus Joe Flacco.
That is true.
This time around, it's going to be Baker Mayfield versus the number 31 pick in the NFL draft this year, Lamar Jackson. So this is going to be a battle of the quarterbacks, but in the end, I have the feeling that Lamar Jackson is going to have
a better game,
maybe a few better numbers than Mayfield.
Their offenses are pretty well stacked. I mean, like, they're pretty well matched up. Passing, Mayfield's a little better on that. They're rushing. Ravens got that. The defense is definitely Baltimore's got it. But they had a badass defense at the beginning. I'm going with the Browns on this one. I'm going to gamble because I want the Cinderella story to happen. And one thing I like about this game is these teams are the Cleveland Browns or the Baltimore Ravens are playing their past. They used to be the Cleveland Browns.
This is very true. And Rob, just to let you know, even though Greg Williams has played or had the Browns playing very well, the unfortunate news is this is one of the teams that will be in the massive running for Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
It has been all over the back pages everywhere. But Greg Williams has been great as the defensive coordinator for the team. I give him a ton of credit. The team's been playing very well. But I don't think Williams is going to be the head coach next year.
No.
All right, so now we are going to go to, oh, joy. The 49ers rolling into L.A. This is going to be a doozy.
Man, with Mullins, that kid has impressed me a lot.
He has been very, very good this year. Very good.
Not great, but he's been good.
This is also the 49ers' third quarterback.
Yeah.
Which has been ultimately insane to top that all off to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, huh?
It's funny though because we look at the game. The game is not very okay point wise. Vegas has got a large number, under over a 50, which you kind of expect with the Rams. However, the Rams are only -7.5, which on the show, just to let everybody know, if I normally say it's a half, I usually bump it up to half point because I think the half points are gay. There's no way to get a half point in the NFL. I'm sorry. So pretty much, I'm giving Rams -8 with the under over 50.
I'm going Rams. Yeah.
I'm going to go Rams too, but I don't think it's going to be that easy though.
I don't know, man.
Well, again, there's no Gurley.
No Gurley.
Okay, Cooper Kupp is still gone for the season, which I think that was pretty much one of the biggest blows that the Rams have had this year. I mean, yes, they did sign C.J. Anderson, and he did have a big 170-yard game last weekend.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The Rams are almost doing the same thing that the Chiefs are. They're all sputtering at the same time.
I wouldn't say that they're sputtering as much as the Chiefs. The Rams have been kind of consistent, but they've had their setbacks. They've had their setbacks, but I don't think it's their setbacks or like them losing such and such and such has affected them as much as the setbacks have affected the Chiefs.
Yeah, but again,
I really don't.
Look at last weekend's game against Philly. When was the last time we've seen Jared Goff throw four interceptions?
That is true. Very true.
And they didn't play well against the Bears the week before.
That's true.
On Sunday Night Football. So the Rams are sputtering the same way that the Chiefs are. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. This game here is not a cakewalk for them.
No, it's about the equivalent of the Chiefs and it's equivalency of the Chiefs and Raiders. It really is. It could go either fucking way.
Mullins would love to play a spoiler.
Yeah.
And Malik Bell, welcome to the show. I haven't seen you on before, but welcome anyway. And I do agree. The Ravens have been playing at a Super Bowl level. They played really well a few weeks ago against the Chiefs, and they've opened a lot more eyes. I really do see that.
Bethard likely gets cut this offseason.
I don't see Bethard getting cut. I see Mullins going for a contract.
Yeah.
Because you got Jimmy G sitting there waiting in the wings, and he got a large deal after getting traded from the Pats. So Garoppolo is obviously going to be your starter, but you maybe keep Mullins and hope that, at some point somebody doesn't come up with an offer for him. I've seen it happen.
I don't know, man. I think they might stick with Mullins, but I think it's going to be like the Derek Carr situation with Terrell Pryor. I know, who was it? Matt Schaub. With Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like that. They got this guy, they just got this guy in. He gets fucking hurt, and then all of a sudden, bam, they got the new guy just like, he's not kicking ass by any means his first year. 4 out of 11, whatever. But he's still doing quite well with the team that he's got. I think that I don't know, man. I think Mullins, they might keep Mullins.
Mullins may have made a name for himself this year. I really do.
I agree.
And there are going to be teams that are going to they're going to not have quarterbacks. Like there's been the rumors of Andy Dalton getting traded, released, maybe put in a body bag. I have no idea, but his future in Cincinnati hasn't been that great. And it kind of leads into this next game.
Oh, great segue, Rick. Speaking of Andy Dalton.
Because he's not playing, obviously.
Yeah.
Fucking damn thumb. Although, I don't know how much a thumb really means to anybody. And again, you have Antonio Brown questionable for this game. James Connors, their running back, the Le'Veon Bell replacement. Mm-hmm. He's going to be questionable. They're going to be playing for their playoff lives, obviously, while watching the Browns-Ravens game up on the big screens.
Mm-hmm.
This one here, okay, is the one that if you had $100 and you want to bet the money really, really quick and make a lot of money back, you put the money on this game here. Vegas has Pittsburgh neg 17 against the Cincinnati Bengals. The biggest point spread out of the entire weekend is Pittsburgh laying 17 to the Cincinnati Bengals. There was a game last week, I believe, where I did not pick Cincinnati, and they stomped somebody.
Who's that, the Raiders? No, last week? Oh, no.
I don't. I'll look at it in a minute, but
It wasn't last week because we played the Broncos last week, but it was a week before that we got stomped by the Bengals.
yeah, but the Bengals pretty much laid an ass whooping. So yes, no AJ Green, no Andy Dalton. I don't know. I can't see with this game starting Pittsburgh down 3 scores.
No.
I'm sorry. Money-wise, I am putting freaking 17 points and about $100 on the Cincinnati Bengals at that point.
Yeah.
All right? There are too many questions on Pittsburgh's side, as well as the fact, yeah, you came off of a game where you beat the Pats. That's all fine and great. And then you laid the fucking golden shit against the fucking Saints, where you could have won that game. The key fumble, the fucked up 4th down fake punt. Yeah. I see a game of hangman, but no letters.
I don't know, man. So what are you picking on this one?
If I'm going to go anywhere, obviously I'm going to go without points. I'm going to go Pittsburgh, but again, money-wise, I put my money on fucking Cincinnati.
See, that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go money. The money thought. I'm going to give it the money thought. I got it, and if no one else did, I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
It's just crazy though. I'm looking at the screen, and my eyes are saying, you know what? Let's take some money out of the bank and put on the Bengals, because 17, that's just nuts. It is. It's really, really bad.
Yeah.
I can't, you know. So the finals of the 425s.
The finals of the 425. So the Seahawks win.
I'm just going to give out the info, you know, the 4-1-1.
Yeah, just give the info.
Game is in Seattle. They have Seattle minus 15 and an under-over of 40. Now, Washington did release Swearinger this week, and as soon as he got released, got picked up by the 49ers.
Really?
Not by the 49ers, by the
Cardinals?
Cardinals.
I was wondering where you were going with that, but I was just going to let it flow.
He did get re-signed back to the team where he was originally. So that's a very big key addition for the Cardinals. Whether he's playing or not, I'm not sure. It's not listed. But 15 points even for the Seahawks is a lot. And Arizona's defense has not been, I mean, statistically, their numbers are horrible. But as of the last few weeks, they have been playing.
They are ranked 19th.
You look at that screen right there, and you're like, wow, you know, last game was only a 3-point game.
Yeah.
And that game was in Arizona. I mean, Seattle is a tough place to play, but
it is. It very well is. Chiefs couldn't do it.
No. And that was the crazier thing. I got to tell you, though. I'm going Seahawks, but I don't think 15 points on the spread is going to be a lot.
I don't think so either. I don't know. They did. Wilson played really well against the Chiefs, and I mean that wasn't a very close. It wasn't a really close game. It was close, but the Seahawks dominated that game from the get-go. So I think, yes, Seahawks are just going to just whoop that ass and go ahead with it.
All right, so the final game for the 2018 regular season.
Oh, it's a big one, because this is the one that's worth all the marbles, right?
Oh, yeah. This is win or go home. Unfortunately, I think I probably would have rather have liked to see this game in Indy.
Yeah.
Divisional matchup. Winner of this game not only gets a trip to the playoffs, but wins the division.
Wins the division.
Gotta tell you, the Indianapolis Colts started out this year at 1-4.
Yeah.
And have miraculously come back, done a phenomenal job, in my opinion.
Yeah. They just, I mean, I didn't have any hope for them at all.
But I did say that this was one of those teams that was to not be overlooked.
Yeah, they weren't.
And they won their last matchup. And this is a battle of ex-player head coaches. Mike Vrabel for the Titans and Frank Reich for the Colts. I got to tell you, this is going to be a slugfest. This is going to be a slugfest. Again, it's going to be whether or not Mariota starts is going to be a big key because he's questionable for this weekend. I got to tell you, before I even say the Vegas numbers, I'm laying my money on the Colts.
I'm going to put my money on the Colts too, but what are the numbers?
The numbers have Colts favored by 3 and an under-over of 44. Which is, I'm saying it's very viable, but my question again is, Mariota starting or not, and which Titans team is going to show up?
Well, it's also which Colts team is going to show up. I don't know. Andrew Luck's been playing pretty consistent lately.
And did have a stretch of about 9 games with over 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, and I believe he's like 3rd overall in the NFL in touchdown passes.
Speaking of Andrew Luck, so I've been binge watching Parks and Recreation. And so there's this one episode where they go and they play, they do a bachelor party on the Indiana or the Colts field, and Andrew Luck is there. That is one ugly son of a bitch, dude. Like, he looks backwoods as fuck.
I originally said he should have been doing the Geico commercials as the caveman.
Or like if they ever do a reboot of the Addams Family, he should definitely play Lurch.
Or maybe like they should start a Cro-Mag show with him and Terrell Suggs.
That's a good one.
That's where you go with that one.
Yeah, you go.
But yeah, that's the schedule for the 2018 season. Well, the last week of the NFL season. Gotta tell you, I mean, as fun as it is to do the shows, you don't realize how fast the season goes.
No, you don't. You really don't. And honestly, like, but football is one of those sports, and I guess you can't say that, but because, like, look at hockey. It feels like hockey's going around year round, and those guys are beating the fuck out of each other. But
yeah, I've already seen plenty of injuries in hockey so far this year. So.
But football, I mean, it's only 17 weeks. Well, I mean, what, 20-some weeks?
Well,
really?
You figure 4 weeks of preseason, then you got the 17-week regular season, and then another 5 for the playoffs.
Yeah,
because they have to play the Pro Bowl now before the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so you always get that extra week off of chicanery or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It is awful short though. It feels like it should be longer, but those guys they just can't beat the fuck out of each other that long.
No.
Right.
But
So what we'll be back here Tuesday.
Probably both of us hungover.
Absolutely, I'll be hungover
because that will be
New Year's Day.
I'll be stuffed with about like 30 pounds of Chinese food.
Is that your holiday or your tradition?
Well, being stuffed with Chinese food is not a prediction; it's a fact.
Yeah.
And that's what we do for the family for dinner.
Where do you go get Chinese food?
We order it and eat in.
Oh, okay, good deal.
And it's usually about like $150 to $160 worth of food.
Jesus. Well, I mean, you're in New York, so that's like two things.
Yeah.
But no, I think we plan on seeing you guys on Tuesday. Glad to be back. At least for the playoff runs. It's going to be great. We're going to be here still be here on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yes.
And then I think we should do a special Super Bowl Sunday episode before the game.
I think we will. And we also have another venture that I'm going to talk to about with Alex after that, because there might be a follow-up to Archrivals football.
All right, guys.
Just a little bit of a teaser.
Just a little bit of a teaser. But, all right, guys. Well, that is it for this episode of Week 17. We will see you on Tuesday.
And Happy New Year's. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, Happy New Year's. Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man!